I've given up with AAA gaming, sometimes even gaming in general. But you know what? A part of that's an exaggeration. I'm not exactly, 100% honest with that, right? There's still good games out there. There's still some banger AAAs. I'm playing Ratchet and Clank right now. I know I'm like 3 years late to the party, but it's a lot of fun. So games still do exist. There are still decent ones that come out. But it seems like we have apology after apology after apology, bad release after bad release after bad release. It feels like that's all that just keeps happening every single time this year. I have not seen a single game for the most part have a regular smooth launch besides like maybe 1 or 2 titles. For the rest of them, they've all had shit launches known to mankind. We've had Tears of the Kingdom that had a good launch. I sat here for a second trying to think if there's any other titles and I can't. I mean, I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy's gonna have a smooth launch. But besides that, I don't know if there's anything else up to this point as I make this video that there's been a good launch in 2023, again, besides Tears of the Kingdom, which is wild. Literally one game out of a lot of heavy hitters that were supposed to drop this year that have dropped, but they have been severely disappointing just because it's been plagued by launch issues, bug issues, you name it. It's been bad. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because last night a game came out called Lord of the Rings Gollum. You probably heard about it at this point. If you haven't, bless your soul. I played it live on stream last night, twitch.tv/wasabi, and I lasted 30 minutes playing it. It was awful. It was the most boring game I played in a hot minute. I played a lot of bad games. I played some boring games, but this takes the cake. I did not enjoy this at all. It was just straight trash. And so today at the making of this video, the developers heard the outcry and the disappointment from a lot of fans across the world. And so they made a statement. And it goes just about how you expect any apology to go from every single game released now to this point. Oh my God, we're sorry. We had such high expectations from ourselves and for this game. And we understood that it failed to meet the expectations that we set for ourselves and for our fans. It's like cookie cutter. It's like a template. It's like they pass it around to each developer now. Like, hey, you got a game coming up? Hey, copy our template. Just change it a little bit. Just change it to your game name. Throw a couple different words in there, and then you're good to go. That's pretty much the basis now of every single game that comes out. But you know what? Let's read their apology. And on top of that, while I read it, let me show you gameplay that I recorded last night when I did the stream, so you can see for yourself how boring and how much performance issues the game has. So they start off by saying, "Dear players, we would like to sincerely apologize for the underwhelming experience many of you have had with the Lord of the Ring, Gollum." They couldn't even get that right. They didn't even proofread this to make sure they got everything pristine. This only speaks more volumes to the quality of their game and just in general. You couldn't even proofread this. It explains why your game wasn't doing too hot either. Continuing on, they say, "We acknowledge and deeply regret that the game did not meet the expectations we set for ourselves or our dedicated community. Please accept our sincere apologies for any disappointment this may have caused." No, I don't think I will accept your apology. You released this game for what, $50, $60, and this is what you send out. When you buy a game, if it's not on Steam, guess what? You're not getting that refund. You buy it digitally on Sony, PS5, you ain't getting that refund. Sony tells you, tough luck, bub. You buy it physically, you better hope someone buys it off you, but guess what? Ain't no one gonna buy this dog shit, so you're out of money. What are you gonna do for those players, huh? Yeah, I don't think your apology fixes that when people spend their money on this and you give them a dog shit game. But on top of that, for anybody who bought this game without doing any research, that's on you. You deserve to lose your money. I thought we learned our lesson already, but I guess not. Continuing on, they said, "Our goal as a studio and as a passionate The Lord of the Rings fan has always been to tell a compelling and immersive story-driven adventure. Crafting a story with Middle-earth as our playground has been the greatest honor and the biggest challenge we have faced so far. At Daedalic, we understand that a game's success relies on the enjoyment and satisfaction of our players. We genuinely value your feedback and have been actively listening to your voices, reading your comments, and analyzing the constructive criticism and suggestions you have provided. Our team has been working diligently to address the bugs and technical issues many of you have experienced. We are committed to providing you with the patches that will allow you to enjoy the game to its fullest potential. Once again, we deeply apologize for any inconveniences caused, and we appreciate your understanding during this time. We will continue to keep you updated on our progress and provide transparent communication regarding the upcoming patches and improvements. Your passion and dedication as players has been the driving force behind our determination to make things right. Thank you for your support." Well, I'm going to be honest with you right now. You're not going to be able to fix the core of this game or the problems. It's just boring. It's not fun. It's a sleeper. And when I say it's a sleeper, it means it puts you to sleep. You want to go to sleep and you have trouble, play this game. That might be worth it to you, but it's kind of expensive. You're better off using melatonin. But this game, at the core of it, you can't fix this with patches. There's no way. Unless it's babe, guess what? A 39 gigabyte patch just dropped and it redid the entire game. Unless you do that, your game is not going to be fixed. Now, good on them for fixing the performance issues, because there's a fuckload of them. It's actually really wild how bad performance is, considering this game is just trash, but I guess it goes hand in hand. But yeah, you can't fix this entire situation with every game developer saying the same thing. Oh, we have high expectations and we fail to meet them, and I know our players have the same thing, and we apologize for that. If you're truly sorry, you would have never released the game at this state, let alone for this amount of money. If you knew the game was dog shit starting off, because let's be real here, I don't think anyone who play tested this was like, man, this is fun. God, players are going to love this, unless they just don't want to get fired, and so they lie to the higher ups, which is a possibility. But I think they all knew that this was a stinker, and they just pushed it out anyway, because they're like, hey, someone's going to buy it. And I know for some people watching this video, you're probably going to be wondering, are there people who actually did buy this game and enjoy it? And unfortunately, yes, there are people that have the lowest expectations known to mankind who are just like, I don't see what the problem is. I'm enjoying it. It's because of people like you who enjoy this is why the game turns out like this, and why we keep getting shitty launches time and time again. Because you have people who are going to pay for it no matter how much it costs, and they're going to be like, well, that's fine. I'm having fun with it. And you know what? To an extent, that's cool. I'm glad you're having fun with it. But because of your shitty little standards on something like this, that's not like, is like universally agreed that it's not fun. So for you to say that it's fun, it's pretty much like telling someone, I think watching paint dry on the wall is kind of fun. You might be the only person in this whole goddamn planet who would actually say that. But for the majority of people in this world, it's not fun. But you know what? Let's take a look at some of the positive reviews. So at the time of me making this video, there's currently 250 players that have played an hour ago, with a peak of 502 players, 502 suckers as far as I'm concerned, 502 people with the lowest standards known to mankind, 250 people still trying this out. I hope just to see how bad it is and then refund it later. But it shouldn't even have this many players. But I digress. Let's go further. So here's our first one with 3.6 hours on record. Yeah, you're really enjoying this game so far, huh? They say, honestly, people are trend hating this game. It's actually decent if you have the hardware to play it. Dog, I played this on an SSD with an RTX 4080, and I got a 5800X. I'm pretty sure it's not my hardware. Hardware does not make a game fun or not fun. It has no correlation. Your review's already dog shit just because you're using that analogy. Anyways, they say, I'm enjoying the game so far as a diehard fan. I just see this game as a different perspective in Middle Earth. It's not all about combat or being characters that everyone likes, you know. It's a unique story as oh. Alright, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the game. Personally, I'm not getting bad FPS. It's running at 120 FPS the whole time, but there are very quick stutters on occasion. Other than that, zero issues. The graphics could use polish. Sure, they don't look too amazing. As for gameplay, some of the concept reminds me of Plague Tale and how you stealth and chuck rocks at enemies. I find the platforming very satisfying. It is interesting to see the Gollum / Smeagol interactions, and also a different imaging than the Peter Jackson version, even though I love those as well. I find a lot of the dialogue so far interesting, some funny. Also a very cool way to see the inside of Mordor as Smeagol's perspective while inside. Not seeing bugs yet personally, unless you count somewhat funny collision issues that make Smeagol jitter really fast. LMAO had me dying. What it seems like to me for this negative reviews, people might value graphics so much they can't play anything that isn't super polished or looking 100% current and modern. I'm gonna stop you right there. A game is supposed to be polished upon release. You don't pay to go see a movie that's unfinished, do you? Didn't think so. So why should this logic apply to games only, where it's like, hey, well, I mean, it's not super polished, but it's still fun. I'm enjoying it. No, raise your standards. You're paying money for something on release. They get your money right off the bat. You're not guaranteed any patches or anything fixed after the game comes out. I hate this idea where it's like, oh, well, it's not amazing, but it's still decent. No, please stop this. These low-ass, shit-ass standards are just so sad. On top of that, well, it's not really going too bad, but, I did have a couple issues here and there. Well, then you had issues. Their machine is awful and can't run the game. I already said it. My computer can run the game very well. I have great specs. The game still runs like dog shit. So that's just straight copium. You're living off straight copium. But I continue. They don't care about the lore or the books, so the story wouldn't matter for them. So I guess that means they need high poly count or whatever else to carry the game. Kind of like how some people play Shadow of War or Mordor because it was new, popular, never seen the movies, read the books, or cared about the source before. LOL, which is fine, but just a wild guess here. There's a lot of copium mixed in between with this because you do have people that are fans of the books and they think this game is dog shit too. So what's your answer to that? What, they're not real fans now because they don't like this game? Exactly. Anyways, I just want to talk about this because I'm just sad. These launches just keep disappointing me over and over and over and over. I mean, I wasn't really expecting much coming into this game anyway because I saw the trailers and I knew this was going to be dog shit right off the bat. But you always have a little slice of a glimmer, a little bit of hope that maybe the game will actually surprisingly be great. But this is not it. Also, to their argument about people need like high grade graphics, I agree. Some people are like that. But I think if the game is fun enough, then people don't care about the graphics ultimately. You might have some people shit on it and be like, oh, the graphics aren't amazing. They're not like mind-blowing. They don't fucking, blow my dick off, and I'm just like trying to tell my friends about how beautiful the game is. There are people who are like that. But for a majority of people, if they see the game is fun, they don't care how it looks ultimately. As long as they're having fun, that's all that matters. And I think that's what a lot of these developers kind of lose the focus on. They don't realize that their game needs to actually be fun, first and foremost. If it's not fun, then your game is not even worth making. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, yeah, game is doo-doo, stinky, trash, garbage, any colorful word you want to describe. Shit. Yeah. Bye-bye.